inspect the summary video. We're here in St. Joseph's, Missouri. This is part 2 of the fire escape inspection on this entire structure here. What we have here is a fire escape that must be structurally sound, must be kept painted in order to pass the inspection and be certified or proceed immediately to the load test. We cannot do that on this fire escape either. This second half of the fire escape that encompasses the cantilever has many issues, primarily structural, and needs a full paint job. There's no paint left on this fire escape. This fire escape has not seen paint probably in 25 years at least. We got major structural problems in all the treads. Treads are broken, as you can see, broken treads there, broken treads there. Life safety issues, broken treads there, broken treads there. This one's broken. I'm stepping on one that's broken. And this cantilever is not balanced. So what happens is you're going to have to walk out, 5, 10, 15 treads before this thing will drop, and that's not the way it's supposed to be. That weight box has to be properly balanced so that this fire escape, once released, we need to create a release arm back here. It's going to block this way, and that release arm basically controls that weight box down there. And this release arm, once activated up here, lets this cantilever drop all by itself 2 to 3 feet per second, hit the ground, and stay down. That way, by the time somebody like myself comes down to the pivot point, the fire escape is already in a bottom position, and people can self-evacuate, and then the firemen can come here and go up this thing anytime they want. So that's the cantilever portion. Cable needs to be replaced because it's an older cable. Any original hardware must be swapped out for new hardware to avoid load testing. All welded connections. This is a perfect example of a suspect welded connection. So even though this weld looks good from this side, you can see evidence that it's rotting from the inside out because water gets in there through the back end, and that's what makes all these welds suspect. Okay, so the only thing we have to gusset this, put bolts there, bolt here, and basically negate all these welded connections with a gusset. We got wall issues. Every single one of these wall issues must be repaired, cemented, and all the connections at the very top need to be verified on the inside. And then you also, if not, you need to do a new through bolt to the left or to the right of this and negate this, but you still need to seal it up and finish it, but then put a new 3/4 through bolt or double 3/4 through bolt on this, because this is quite a bit of weight here. Through bolted back into the building so that we basically carry. So again, all welded connections must be backed up with a bolt. First of all, they have to have no rust on it. So if we have rust anywhere, you got to clean the rust out first, then you can bolt it. But again, once you do a bolt here, you got to seal it all up with silicone. So all the connections got to be sealed with silicone and rebolted to avoid the load test. So going back up this fire escape, I got treads that have ½ inch of rust on all of them. So every one of these treads, some of them are ready to fall. Every one of these treads on the fire escape cantilever has rust in it, ready to fall. So the emergency repairs must be done first to make this fire escape functional until such time that permanent repairs take effect. Going up now, you have original hardware everywhere. Everything is square head bolts. Every single one of these needs to be addressed, changed out, sealed, and silicone. All your railings have an issue, and that is you need more protective up here. But these knuckles and these railings tend to rot from the inside out, so we can do some investigation to verify whether or not we're just going to add mesh to this so that this property can be used residentially, or do we want to take these out and put in new railings 42-inch high with the mesh to avoid the issue with the 4-inch rule. So as you can see, bars are broken on this thing. Okay, so we got some railing repair. Some of these are 3/4 already, so definitely, even though the bolt is there, somebody's going to step on this incorrectly and this thing's just going to fall. See, she's ready to fall. So we've got quite a few. This again, 100% of all these treads are ready to fall. Again, meaning they have ½ inch to 3/4 rust. All those have the same exact. So all the way to the top, this fire escape has not seen a repair in at least 25 years, at least. No paint on it, so you're going to need to wire brush it down, and then you're going to need to apply a full primer coat, and then you're going to have to apply a full top coat or 2 top coats depending on what the client's willing to expend on this. Every single connection into the building, once you've repaired it with cement, you need to then seal it so water doesn't get back in there anymore. Every one of these, once they get repaired, you got to seal this. In some cases, you leave the existing, seal it up, and then you put another clip to the side and you put another bolt. If this is a weakened area, you can make an angle clip here, bolt it this way, and it basically eliminates the need. No welding. The EPA doesn't allow any welding on a fire escape that has lead. So there's no welding allowed as a repair tactic. This is 100% full refurbishment of this existing fire escape system. Okay, let me go up and I'm going to show you guys this main support for the cantilever. It's carrying a lot of weight, so we need to verify that and duplicate that. As you can see, every single tread has rust issues. Our main concern is look at all this spalling. So we're going to need to get a mason in here. We'll be able to repair within a certain part of our work, but then a mason needs to come in and button up the rest. This platform is not even supported anymore. All the bolts have gone, so it's an unsupported platform, so another life safety concern here. And as you can see, she already fell back there, and there's nothing holding this platform up other than this grating going to side, but then there's no bolts holding the shelf angle that holds it in position. So I'm going to gingerly step over, but this amount of rust everywhere, that's what's causing all of these things to pop its bolts. I already talked about the weight there. I already talked about all this needs to be sealed so no more water gets in there from the top. So full refurb on this whole fire escape is the main question. The second is, do we want to modify the existing rails because they're in good order to include new mesh at the top portion also, or do we want to take all these rails out and just put in a brand new rail system with rail bar with pickets every 4 inches, or with mesh? We also want to discuss the issue with how we're going to verify these connections into the building, make sure everything is good, so we can avoid the load test. 100% of all the fasteners need to come out and new fasteners in. Every joint is going to be sealed with 35 to 50-year silicone. All welded connections have to be gusseted to avoid the load test on this fire escape. All the grading needs to be verified so that those spaces are not rotting from the inside out. All cement work, it's got to be done, and then you got to stop the water from getting in there. So do the cement work and then seal it up so no water gets back into this building and causing other issues that you may not know where they're coming from, but we do. So all welded connections of any kind, back it up with the bolts on this whole structure. Any questions regarding the cantilever, regarding the way it's tied into the building, the fire escape in itself? Fire escape engineers, this is Inspector Cisco Meneses. 866-649-0333, 866-649-0333. Fire escape does not pass inspections, has life safety concerns as we speak. Fire escape's the next step now is to send a copy to the city official. A emergency plan should be put into place in that no one in the building can actually use this fire escape right now, so we need to block off these doors, saying not to be used until emergency repairs can make this fire escape functional, and then permanent repairs will get this fire escape certifiable in lieu of a load test. Whether or not they want a permit on this during painting and fastener refurbishment is to be discussed with the city official, and whether or not there's going to be any extensions of anything, including the rails. In some cases, when you modify certain pieces on a fire escape, it triggers a permit request, such as new rails. Any questions, fire escape engineers? 866-649-0333.